Have you ever looked at your neighbor and thought, what's their story? What if I told you that one of them might be hiding a dark secret? Today, we dive into the chilling tale of a seemingly ordinary neighbor who turned out to be one of the most notorious serial killers in history. Someone who eluded the police for years, right under everyone's noses. 1. The ideal neighbor. Meet John Smith, a name that resonated in the small town of Maplewood. John was the kind of neighbor everyone wanted. He mowed his lawn every Sunday, ensuring it looked pristine, and brought cookies to new families, introducing himself with a warm smile. He always had a friendly wave for passersby and never hesitated to lend a hand, whether it was helping someone with groceries or offering a tool for yard work. To the world, he was the ideal neighbor, a model of kindness and community spirit. But beneath this picture-perfect facade lay a different story. John harbored a secret that he meticulously concealed from his neighbors. Every evening, after his friendly waves and cheerful hellos, he retreated into his home, where the shadows of his past lingered. He had once been a soldier, shaped by experiences that haunted him. The cheerful demeanor he showcased was a mask, one he wore to keep the darkness at bay. As days turned into weeks, whispers began to circulate in Maplewood. Why was John so perfect? Was it too good to be true? The town was filled with admiration, but there was an undercurrent of curiosity. The question remained, what was really happening behind the closed doors of John Smith's seemingly idyllic life? 2. The missing persons. It all started with a series of disappearances. Young women began to vanish without a trace, leaving behind families desperate for answers and a community gripped by fear. The police were baffled. How could someone just disappear in a tight-knit community like Maplewood, where everyone knew each other's names and shared in local events? The charm of the small town was rapidly overshadowed by a creeping sense of dread. The first to go was Emily, a vibrant college student who was home for the summer. She was last seen leaving a cafe, her laughter echoing down the street. Days turned into weeks, and despite extensive searches, there was no sign of her. Soon after, Sarah, a local teacher, followed suit. Her absence sent shockwaves through the town. She had been a beloved figure, known for her kindness and dedication. As the disappearances continued, residents began to look over their shoulders, questioning their neighbors and the very fabric of their community. Rumors circulated about strange occurrences, lights flickering in homes at odd hours, whispers in the dark, and mysterious vehicles lurking at the edges of town. The police set up task forces and enlisted the help of neighboring jurisdictions, but every lead seemed to dissipate like smoke. With each passing day, the fear deepened, and the question on everyone's lips grew louder. Who or what was taking the women of Maplewood? 3. The suspicion rises. Rumors swirled, and suspicion fell on John. Neighbors began to notice odd behaviors, late-night outings, strange noises coming from his home, and a collection of items that didn't quite belong to him. What had once been friendly waves and warm smiles now felt unsettling, and the community's trust in him began to waver. I always thought he was a bit strange, murmured Clara, an elderly woman who had lived next door to John for years. Just something about him. It didn't feel right. She recalled how he would often disappear for hours, returning with an unsettling calmness that set her nerves on edge. John was always friendly, but there was something in his eyes that felt off, a flicker of something dark, hidden beneath layers of charm. As whispers turned to hushed conversations, the once close-knit community found itself divided. Some defended him, insisting he was just an eccentric, while others began to scrutinize every interaction. Children were warned to stay away, and even the adults felt an inexplicable chill when passing his house. A group of neighbors decided to take matters into their own hands, forming a watch group to monitor John's comings and goings. They documented his late-night excursions and the peculiar sounds that seeped through his walls. They believed they were on the brink of uncovering a dark secret, one that could explain the disappearances and restore safety to their beloved Maplewood. But as they dug deeper, they realized they were venturing into a tangled web of mystery far darker than they ever imagined. 4. The police investigation. Despite the mounting evidence, the police struggled to gather enough proof to take action against John. Each time they thought they were closing in, he seemed to be one step ahead, carefully crafting his alibi and maintaining his innocent appearance. He greeted officers with an affable smile, engaging in light conversation as if the weight of suspicion never touched him. Neighbors reported strange sounds and late-night outings, but without concrete evidence, the police were left frustrated. They interviewed John multiple times, yet he always had a plausible explanation for his behavior. "I was just working late on my garden," he'd say, or "I had a friend over for a movie night." While the community simmered with anxiety, John continued his routine, exuding an aura of normalcy that further shielded him. He attended town meetings, offered help to anyone in need, and even organized community cleanups, all while the police struggled to link him to the disappearances. As the tension escalated, the townspeople felt increasingly powerless. With each day that passed without resolution, their trust in the system began to crumble, leaving them to wonder. How long could John maintain his facade before the truth finally caught up with him? 5. The breakthrough. Finally, in a dramatic turn of events, a breakthrough came when police obtained a search warrant for John's home. What they found inside would send shockwaves through the entire community. The investigation had been painstaking, with detectives following every lead and interviewing countless witnesses. The community was on edge, grappling with a series of mysterious disappearances that had left everyone feeling unsafe. Rumors swirled, and fear gripped the neighborhood. Each new day brought fresh anxiety as families wondered who might be next. When the police finally secured the search warrant, the tension was palpable. Officers arrived at John's modest home, a place that had become the center of speculation and dread. With a mix of trepidation and determination, they entered the premises, their hearts racing at the prospect of uncovering the truth. Inside, what they found was beyond anyone's imagination. The living room, typically unassuming, was filled with unsettling paraphernalia. Dark photographs lined the walls, depicting local missing persons, their smiles now haunting against the backdrop of John's otherwise ordinary life. It was a chilling gallery of sorrow and mystery that spoke volumes about the secrets hidden within those four walls. As the officers continued to search, they stumbled upon a hidden basement. Descending into the dimly lit space, they discovered an array of items that would shock the community to its core. Personal belongings of the missing individuals, trophies adorned with names of victims, and a chilling journal filled with cryptic entries detailing John's interactions and plans. The journal's pages revealed a twisted psyche, a man obsessed with control and domination. News of the discovery spread like wildfire. The community that once viewed John as a quiet, harmless neighbor was now gripped by disbelief and horror. How could someone living among them harbor such dark secrets? Families felt betrayed, their sense of safety shattered as they came to grips with the reality of their surroundings. The police, now armed with undeniable evidence, prepared for the next phase of the investigation. John was taken into custody, but questions loomed large. Who else might be involved? How many lives had been affected by the darkness that had permeated their community? As the investigation deepened, the community braced itself for revelations that would forever alter its fabric. 6. The arrest and reaction. John Smith was arrested and charged with multiple counts of murder, sending shockwaves through the tight-knit community of Maplewood. Residents struggled to reconcile the image of the friendly neighbor they had known for years with the horrifying allegations against him. John was a familiar face, often seen lending a helping hand, coaching local youth sports teams, and volunteering at community events. The juxtaposition of his seemingly idyllic life and the dark charges left everyone in disbelief. As news of his arrest spread, whispers filled the streets. How could the man they trusted, the one who always smiled and offered assistance, turn out to be a monster? The details of the investigation began to unfold, revealing a web of deceit and hidden darkness beneath John's charming exterior. Neighbors recalled odd moments, the late-night noises from his home, the unexplained disappearances of a few locals. Many had brushed these off, attributing them to the everyday eccentricities of life in a small town. Vigils were held held for the victims, drawing crowds that shared stories of loss and grief. Community members expressed their sorrow, not only for those who lost their lives, but also for the betrayal felt at the hands of someone they thought they knew. The police urged anyone with information to come forward, heightening the sense of urgency surrounding the case. In the weeks that followed, as the trial loomed, Maplewood grappled with its shaken sense of safety. The trust that once unified the community now felt like a fragile illusion, shattered by the revelation of John's alleged crimes. The question lingered: how well can we truly know the people in our lives, and what darkness might lie just beneath the surface? If you enjoyed this chilling tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more stories from the dark side of humanity.